Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to the series where I talk about random things for no reason. My name is Muhammad, and today, uh, 2 days ago, I just took part in a Islamic teens program camp, and there's one particular part I wanted to talk about today. But the reason I was at the place there, I wasn't alone. I had my two sisters come with me as well. We were put there at the camp because our mother was one because our mother and father were two of the people that worked there, and we participated. Uh, well, the we were then put into separate teams. I was part of a team where we named ourselves Rafa. You can guess where that comes from. We not only had to come up with team names, we had to decide who was going to lead the team, as well as come up with a team cheer, which was the cringiest part, for me at least. We did a few activities, and then it became nighttime, which we were going to go on our night walk. Now, here's the thing: I didn't know that night walk entailed that I was going to be blindfolded, because that's what they did. They put They did a makeshift blindfold, put the mask on my face, on my eyes, over my eyes, and the whole instruction was just hold on to the guy in front of you and hope and make sure that your teammate is behind you is still holding on to you. And everyone was following the lead guy who had the stick and was being dragged on by someone who I think could see. So we started walking and walking. Apparently, we all had different paths. Some people got it easier. My team was apparently given the hardest path because we went up, down, over and around, left and right, and all that stuff. The whole time, I was actually really scared because I was told that we were going to be walking through a forest and we were blindfolded. And the prospect of walking through a forest blindfolded in the middle of the night where most creatures come out, like, that's the scariest thing. At one point, we were being told to duck, and then like being told to get down, and I thought there was some sort of giant animal that was coming towards our way, or it was some sort of snake. And as it turns out, it was just them telling us to start crawling under something. We were crawling under trees, drainage, drain. It was not a fun experience for me. I think I was the only one that was really panicking most of the time. Everyone was constantly asking if I was okay. And looking back at it, I kind of feel bad for that. Eventually, at one point, you know, people people in my team wanted to start picking up the pace. One dude behind me was like shoving us forward, making sure that we go faster. Everyone was keep telling him to stop. And then at one point we turned around, so now he was in front of me. And then like people people were like going at a slow pace. The guy just want the people in front I think wanted to go faster, so they ended up going faster. And we were just getting out, and we were just getting out of like a getting up from crawling, and then the dude just went ahead with the lead. And I I had to let go because the dude behind me was still coming out of the drainage pipe, was still coming out of the drainage or whatever, was still crawling up, coming up from crawling. So I stayed behind, and now and then we were just stuck there for like a few seconds. And then like threatened that if the dude wasn't going to come back in like a 5 minutes or so, I was going to take off my blindfold because I was sick of walking through this nightmare forest with completely blindfolded. And one of the people had to step in and grab my hand, and then just guide me and the rest of my group forward. And it went like that for a while. And then I was given a stick, and they started guiding me that way. And throughout the whole time, everyone kept asking me if the team continued to ask me if I was okay, though this time I wasn't saying much. Oh, and another thing is that my little brother came along too, but not as a participant, but to help our parents with some stuff. And he wasn't blindfolded during the night walk, and he just observed us. The thing is, throughout the whole time, he was mocking us, making jokes about us, making fun of us, and then like taunting us. And it just made me so mad because I was experiencing the because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I was walking through, so I felt like this was like one of the scariest moments of my life. And he was just sitting there, just taunting us. I didn't know what I was. We kept walking for like a few more minutes. I felt like minutes or hours or whatever. And eventually, we eventually did stop, and then we sat down, and we were told to we could finally like take off our blindfolds, which I was really glad to. After the night walk, all I could think of, like throughout the night walk, all I could think about was just hitting yourself for freaking taunting us. We weren't even in the forest throughout the whole thing. But they told us that we were going through a forest, and I thought that we were going through a forest. And with all the stuff that could be in the forest, all the twists and turns and all the slopes, I thought we really were going through a forest. And it made me really upset hearing how Yusuf was just laughing at mostly me suffering from this whole experience. I didn't have a really great time with this at all. But nonetheless, we managed to get through the night walk. We got some food. We then like ate dinner, and then went to sleep and stuff. And the next day, we we were given a task to go exploring for stuff. This time we weren't given blindfolds because we it was more like a treasure hunt. My team was sent since I've got like 5 more minutes left to talk about this video. 5 more minutes left to talk in this video. I might as well try and talk about this as much as I can. So after a bit of delay from from me and one of my teammates, we had to get some stuff, and then we came back. It was raining too, so everyone in my team was wearing these plastic bags on their heads. I guess it was to get them not wet. But I had my umbrella, so I didn't have to. So I didn't feel the need to. So the first thing we went look, so we were given a piece of paper, and the first thing we went looking for is this tree with a picture of a smiley face hanging off from one of its branches. So we went looking for that. We went running around, and it got to a point where I got tired. But we did eventually find the tree, and then we were given our next task, which is to go to a bridge uh, that had these coconuts and cans that were already there. And the goal of the goal was to, the cans would be stacked on top of each other in pyramid like formation, and we would try to knock it down, uh, like bowling. Uh, we couldn't leave the spot until until everybody got a point, and I struggled quite a bit with that coconut mini game because I kept throwing it, and it continually misses like by a millimeter to the thing. And at one point, I threw the coconut, and it just bounced over the cans instead of on top of it. I eventually did got it. I got like 3 points. Then for our next clue, we were given a puzzle to do, and that puzzle was an image of one of the places we had to go to. That place, I don't know what it was. It were these two benches that was sitting under a roof that had that was supported by these four pillars. They're everywhere in this place, and we went there and solved some questions. Then we got another puzzle, and that puzzle was showed the image of a building that we passed by. We went there, and we had to do another game, and this game was we had to try to guide the ball into a hole. So my team was holding up this cardboard pathway, and I was in charge of just placing the ball. And what my team was supposed to do was that they were to tilt the pathway so that to influence the ball into the direction they wanted to go in. It wasn't that easy, but it wasn't easy to say, but we got it. And eventually we were given our next task, which was an image of a forest. The picture was the image of a forest. So we went there. We went to that specific spot. We found this tree with a ribbon tied to it, and that was the spot. Uh, my teammates did more questions answering, while I was given a maze to try and solve. I was to try and solve it as quickly as possible. I think, and I managed to do it quickly. Though the questions were the spelling thing paper, however, was a lot more difficult. Though then again, I wasn't the one. I wasn't helping much since I wasn't told what to do, so I didn't know how I was supposed to help. But yeah, then we made our way back and went to this place where the next task was, where we had to try and stack cups on top of each other. The twist is, however, is that we're all holding on to the string that each had that was each tied to a rubber band, and we had to and we could pull on the string to extend the rubber band, and the cups were spread out, and we had to like grab the cups using the rubber band and then stack them on one another. But it isn't as easy, but we did it, and we were the third team to make it through. But eventually, we were the third team that made it back from the exploration. But then we won second place, so yeah, it was all well and good. And yeah, it's 17 minutes now, so I can end the video. Uh, Thanks for watching, if you're watching, and goodbye. Hello.